Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always glad to be here. Always glad to have you here. If I am coming across loud and clear, please respond in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that everything is coming across loud and clear. Very interesting day in the market today. Looked like the market wanted to go down. It actually gapped up. It came down, tested the level of the gap, went back up again, and man, is it coming down. All right. And, I always ask people the questions of how many of you were caught off guard by this. If you were here, part of VV Nation, nobody in this room should have been caught off guard. Nobody. I've been talking about it since the end of last year. Even when the market was going up, I kept saying that there was irrational exuberance behind the market going up. There was nothing good. And no one in the room could really give me a good explanation behind why the market had legs to the upside. Everything was pointing to the market pushing down. The Fed comes on for the last 2 days. The Fed reiterated the things that he said at the end of last year. Things like, hey, we're going to be raising interest rates. Oh, by the way, hey, we may even have to raise them higher. Oh, wait, and one more thing. We're going to keep raising them longer than anticipated. The next thing I'm looking for him to say is that he's going to have to move the terminal rate from 5% probably to 6 or 7%. He hasn't said that yet. I don't think he has really said that yet. Is it time for contrast? Jason, we're going to talk a lot about that. I think that a lot of the stuff that I prepped for you today probably is going to go to the wayside, because as I watch the market go down as precipitously as it is, I think I want to concentrate more to the downside of the market. There you go. Good poll up there. How are you playing this market? Long, short, or in cash? Answer that poll. All right, everybody that's here, that's a great poll question. Answer that question in the poll. I'm curious to know. Long, short, or in cash, because it's not a bad thing to be in cash. I think it's tough right now to be long, and I will tell you that I still hold a couple of stocks long, all right, but I've actually got leverage by holding a few contra ETFs, and I've been playing those contra ETFs prior to now. Even when the days of the market was going up, I was still holding those contras because I strongly felt that the market had a lot more downside than upside, especially before the Fed came on. I had the contras prior to the Fed testifying yesterday and Tuesday. So I'm along with ASRT. Now, ASRT, I'm going to be a fan that if you are going to hold any stocks, and that was Jason's question. It was a great question. It's time for contras. I'm going to be a fan of, if you're still holding stocks long, Stan, if you're holding a stock like ASRT and it starts to move with the market, keep in mind that 80% of the stocks move with the market's direction. You need to have some protection on them. You need to have some, whether you're buying puts, selling calls, whatever it is, you need to have some kind of leverage, some kind of protection on holding that stock long. Stopped out of all long, says Lee. So that makes sense. The market's going down. A lot of stocks will hit those stop criteria. And how many of you, I'm curious to know, how many of you are using psychological stops? Type of 1 in the room. And if you're using hardcore stops, type of 2. How many of you are using psychological stops? Type of 1 in the room. Arlo had good earnings and up 10% today. Got a stop on it. Way to go, Mr. Mex Biker. And you know something? You're going to find those stocks. You're going to find those stocks that are going against the trend of the market. But I want you to be careful with them. A lot of y'all have some mental stops out there. And those psychological, mental, same thing. I call them psychological stops, mental stops, lifestyle coach. You say, well, I got to stop here. And be careful with those. Be careful with those mental stops. I'd rather you have, Badger says both in 1 and 2. I'd rather you have hard stops, because something like this, the way that the market's going down now, having those hard stops will protect you a lot more than, and it's not a line in the mud, Roger, it's a line in the sand. It'll protect you a lot more than not. All right. Joey, show me how many people are here. I want to do that real quick before we get pumped up and going. We've got 222 people in the room. All right, what I want to do, you know me, I want to get us to that level of 300 people. Folks, a lot of stuff going on. Bob, you're doing some stocks in Canada. Nothing wrong with that. Dividends is another way. To go. Before I get into that dividends part of it, invite people to the room. Invite people to the session. Joey's got the link in there. Invite people to the session. A lot of people are out there not knowing what they need to do, and they're panicking. I'd rather talk to those panicking people and get them off of the ledge. All right, get them off of the ledge. As a subscriber to the VectorVest software, or even as a subscriber to our channel, we try to do the best that we can to prepare you for these times. And we talk about it. And a lot of people will sit out there and go, well, you know, you didn't let me. We've been letting you know. By way of my own commentary, been letting you know by way of the VectorVest software that you got to prepare for the downside. I actually did a video not too long ago. Took a while for it to happen, but I actually did a video preparing for the downside, or preparing for disaster. All right, so John says stop losses are in place. Always have stop with a broker, 1% of the portfolio. Cover put, says Francisco. Is gold a go? No, not until the dollar weakens. All right, and I'll say that time and time again. I'm not looking at gold until the dollar starts to weaken. All right, not weekend, but weekend, when it gets weaker. All right, that's the time to look at gold. Until then, Mr. Mex Biker, no, I'm not. And, you know, that's what I'm looking for. That's the key trigger before I think about going that direction. John says, talk about it. Won't you take me to Funky Town? There you go. Downside is not disaster, just an opportunity to attack the market from a different angle. I agree with that, but a lot of people will look at the downside of the market and they turn away and they go, oh my gosh, what to do with it, and they go to cash. Do you not know? Think about this. For those who don't know, markets go down faster than they go up, which, as Badger just said, presents an opportunity for you guys to make money to the downside. We're going to talk a lot about that today. All right, I had a lot of stuff provided for you today, but I think it behooves me to do more, put you on the basis of what to look for to the downside. All right, all of the major indices are down, as you can see. 3 red lights today. Just, man, sort of like a bloodbath, right? Not really. The Dow was only down 290 points. The biggest mover to the downside is the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is down over 1%. The Dow is the only indice not down over 1%. Our composite is down over 1% as well. But when I start to see a lot of red, the primary wave went from up to down, up yesterday to down, and there we go. Carol says, my only friend that trades works full-time, so I can't invite her. So guess what, Carol? After this is done, you can share the link with her or him. You didn't say, you said her. Okay, so you can share the link so they can come after and watch the recording. How about that? Don't let them get inside your head now, blindside. Nobody's in my head. I'm good. Good to see you here live, Craig. Good to see you here live. All right, so the poll, does the poll ended? Let's go see. Wow, it's close. 38% of you are in cash. I saw that. 38% of you are in cash. 33% of you are playing it to the downside, short. 29% of you are playing the long side of the market. So let me ask this question. For those of you who are playing the market to the down, to the upside, or still playing long, why? I'm curious to know. Why? Do you not think that the market has maybe some protracted downside? I'm very curious. Just very curious. Badger, good point. Badger says, I've been a VectorVest subscriber for years. They've taught, I guess it's supposed to be me, and they taught me to be how to trade any market, which is important. All right, dividends where it makes sense. You talk about to the upside, I'll play stocks that play good dividends, but keep in mind, at some point in time where the rubber meets the road, is the dividend worth the price decline? So think about that, Craig. At some point in time when you're playing a dividend stock and it looks like it pays a really good dividend, does the price decline outpace the dividend being paid? And if that's the case, you got to be careful with that stock. All right. So up on an escalator, down by a elevator. No, it's up the stairs, down by an escalator, down by an elevator. There you go. Up by way of stairs, which is slow, and down by an elevator, which is fast. That makes sense. That's the makes sense part. I got you. Market has been short with DEW since 221, and Kramer has been still yelling buy, buy, buy. Listen, I got nothing to do. Kramer does his own thing. He's got a whole bunch of people who follow him. Notice that I will never tell you, more outside of what the VectorVest system is showing me. The DEW has been down. It's been a great middle of the road timing signal. How many of you who use the DEW feel that the DEW has done its job? Type of 1 in the room. For everybody who uses the DEW, how many of you have felt that the DEW has done its job? Type of 1 in the room. All right. It's a great timing signal. Primary wave is the fastest indicator we have. It's gone back and forth. But the DEW, folks, the confirmed call. How about even the confirmed calls? Hi, Glenn. Is it time to buy SPY put for protection? I'm thinking Haas, possibly. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, a lot of people are saying 1. Absolutely. Let's talk about that. Let me get out of the software. Let me get into the software. What do I want to do? I don't know what I want to do. I want to do this. Let's start off with the market timing graph. All right, let's go start off with the market timing graph. This is the day. Good. Googly muggly. That's today. Now, one day doesn't make a trend. And just because it's one day doesn't mean that the market's going to continue crashing like this. Or is it? Let's go to a 3-month graph. That's a big down day. And we broke through, out of this wedge, we broke through 2 levels of former support. We broke through a level of support sitting at $57.16. And we just today broke down through another level of support sitting at $56.57. Where is my next level of support? My next level of support is sitting at the value of $54.68. Does the market have some downside? The absolute answer to that is yes. Definitely broke out of the trend, out of the consolidation of the wedge, all right, to the downside. We did it 2 days ago. We had to try to do a little rebound yesterday. Didn't work. Not only did we break out of the wedge to the downside on March 8th, but the 3 and the 8 cross. 2 things happened on that same day. 2 things happened on that same day. So Bitcoin and their miners are crashing. You want to know why that was happening? We saw this wedge coming. No, I've been having that wedge up there for a minute. I've had that up there. It's not that we saw it coming. Hold on a second. Excuse me. Hold on. I got to sneeze. I'm waiting for it. It's going to sneak up on me. All right. So with that being said, does the market have some more downside? The answer to your question is yes, it does. Let's talk about that Bitcoin story real quick. I do have a story that I want to show you. All right. There it is. There's my Silvergate story. Silvergate Capital will liquidate after crypto collapse wipes out bank. So crypto's crashing. There you go. Who gave me that? Who was talking about that? That was... Who just showed me that? That was Mr. Mex Biker. This is a big reason why. Besides FTX blowing up the whole world of crypto, Silvergate, which is a bank that finance a lot of the crypto stuff, is going out of business. So, I always ask this question, how many of you are trading crypto? More than I'd like to see of you are trading crypto. All I'm saying is if you're trading crypto and you're holding on to it, at some point in time, folks, you got to say enough is enough. All right. At some point in time, you got to say enough is enough. It's up to you when you say that. All right. It's totally up to you when you say that. But I did want to bring that story to the forefront because it's big news. All right. It's big news. How about this? Banks should be careful about crypto, says Fed. Now, this is from one of the Fed's Michael Barr. Does that carry more weight to make you think about being super careful or jumping out of crypto? I don't know. But it's one of the Fed chairs saying that. All right, so I'm just putting that out there. All right, I'm just putting that out there. All right, let's get back into the software. Again, down day. Let's go to the viewers tab. Again, my day is going to be, let's move that over. My day is turned around on a lot of the things that I want to show you because we are so far going down. Jay says, Badger says, Jay, I'm long goats and short cows, almost as good as buy low. Wow. Really? Hold on. You know what? This is for you. Hold on. That's for you, Badger. That's for you. All right, that's for you. Dennis says, have covered calls. Now, if you're going to play stocks long, if you're still going to hold on to stocks long, that, Dennis, is probably the smartest thing for you to do if you don't want to get rid of those long stocks. Sell the covered calls on those stocks. Do not just ride those stocks down. If you don't know how to play the covered calls or play options, then my suggestion is to move out of that, or if you're going to hold on to that long position, look at some contras to help to offset some of that price decline. Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Yes or no? Sorry about that. Allergies, all of this stuff. Does that make sense to everybody in the room? All right. Bob, I may have some stocks to look at. Bob says that doesn't make sense. All right. So if you're holding a stock long and you just don't want to get rid of it, no matter what, if you buy a contra, it goes up in value as the market goes down. So even if the stock that you're holding long goes down in value, hopefully that contra that you buy that goes up when the market goes down will make enough money to absorb the price decline on the stock that you're holding long. Now, Bob, does that make sense to you? It's a way of leveraging your portfolio if you do not want to close out of whatever, the long position for whatever reason you don't want to. All right, so use contra as a hedge. Absolutely, why not? My contras are down today like my stocks. And on the other hand, I'm trading 2 or 3 contras, and my contras are rocking today. Now, I'm not sure why your contras are down, unless what contras you got, Roger. Marty says, contras have saved my bacon. Asif says, Glenn, contra is really hard to hold overnight. So now there's a difference. If I'm trying to hold a contra overnight, I'm probably looking at a non-leveraged contra, Asif. But right now, if the market is really showing legs to the downside, you're probably more set in a position where you can hold a leverage contra overnight. But I still wouldn't do it for more than a couple of days and then redo it again. Does that make sense, Asif? All right, so if I'm trying to really hold overnight, I'd like to use non-leverage contras. But if the market is looking like this, I think you can still hold leverage contras overnight right now. Does that make sense, Asif? True, but this market is crazy. Absolutely. So I like the idea with a crazy market to protect yourself to look at non-leverage contras. As a matter of fact, I've been Joey, let's do this real quick. Again, today is going to be tempered around what's going on in the market. Let's go to ETFs. All right. Maybe I don't want to look at leverage contras. I'm going to show you within the VectorVest system, non-leverage ETFs contra. All right, how are you playing this market? 36% says short, 35% says cash, 27% says long, and that's out of 100 votes. Stephanie says COVID crash look like. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's like that. I think that this is just the reality, folks. This is just the reality of what the hawkish Fed said. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not reading into it like it's a super crash and that. This is real. This ain't hopium. This ain't FOMO. This is real results based upon what the Fed said he's going to do. And what you see here is the market reacting. This ain't a COVID crash. This ain't a bubble burst. It ain't none of that. It's the market coming to the realization that the Fed's going to do this. He's going to raise rates. He's going to do it longer than he expected. And it's going to be higher than what he said. That's what's going on. That is what's going on. Does that make sense to everybody as well? I don't want to put anything bigger behind it than what is going on. This is just the reality of what the Fed says he's going to do. All right, does everybody agree with that? Yes or no? All right, does everybody agree with it? Yes or no, or whether one or two? I just want to know, because I don't want to blow this out of proportion more than it needs to. I don't want to perpetuate fear. I don't want to perpetuate something that is just going to, oh my gosh, Katie barred the door, throw the water out with the, none of that. Folks, it's okay. We can get through this. We can respond in the right manner. And in all of that, and Raphael is right. This ain't nothing that we didn't know. The people who had the hopium that was still pushing the market higher, I couldn't understand why. But it needed to be heard from the Fed what he was going to do and why he was going to do. Now people go, oh, nobody listened to me. They just want to listen to him and go, oh. So you know what I got to say to all of y'all?
Well, uno momento, por favor.
Yeah, that's what I got to say. Because I've been trying to tell you. We haven't used that yet. I've been trying to tell you that. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's look at these non-leveraged contra ETFs. When you look at a watch list, okay, there's no parameters here. The first thing I want to do is sort by average volume. First one I want to do is sort by average volume. For any of you who are looking to hold contras overnight, non-leveraged contras, I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Those are by way of average volume. These are my best traded non-leveraged contra ETFs. For anyone who's looking to hold contras overnight, does this help you? Yes or no? All right. Does this help you? Yes or no? And mainly, Asif, I'm talking to you, my friend. All right. I'm talking to you. Let's go see something here. Let's go back to the graphs. When did we get the DEW down? All right. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. We got the DEW down on 221. All right. Let's go back to the viewers. Let's go back to 221. Now, because we're talking about the whole idea of trying to hold contras overnight, let's go see how these 1, 2, 3, 4, take the top 5. Let's see how many of these, which ones of these, did they make money? All right, let's start off this way. Let's go see if they make money. Let's quick test them from that date. I didn't want all of them. Quick test. Look at that. Asif, would you be okay with this? If you would have taken the non-leveraged contra ETFs when we got the DEW down, 3 out of the 5 are making money. We're up a little less than 1%, where the market, the S&P, is down more than 1%. Does this make you feel a little bit more comfortable? And for anyone out there who's got an issue with holding contras overnight, does this make you feel a little bit more confident in the contras that I'm displaying for you? Yes or no? Is that giving you a little bit more confidence in the contras that you can hold overnight without taking a ton of risk? Yes or no? All right? I'm going to wait for you to answer there. I want as many people as are ready to answer that, because that's a big question when it comes down to contra ETFs, is the ability to hold them overnight. These are non-leveraged. All right. If nobody's going to answer, I'm going to cry. Take the top 5 by CI. It's going to be tough. But I'll take the top. It's only 2. My problem is taking them by CI is the volume. Actually, these volumes are okay. Notice there's only 2 CIs above 1. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go take a look. I got different stocks now, right? This is by CI. No, this is hindsight. Oh, hold on, Kim. Oh, hold on.
Well, uno momento, por favor.
That's for you, Kim. Kim, I'm going to come back to that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is hindsight. But there's a reason why I'm doing it. Let's take these 5 by CI. Did we do any better? Yeah. Only the 5. Did we do any better? It's the same. Actually, only 2 stocks. Only 2 of the contras made money. We still got the same exact number, though, at 0.84, and we're still outpacing the market. So with that being said, Kim, let me come back and talk about this going back in time. So Kim, why did I do that? I did it for the reason of helping to confirm that going forward, I feel a bit more comfortable with this technique. Kim, does that make sense? Yes, I did go back in time. All I wanted to see is if the thinking worked. It looks like it did. Now going forward, I've got confirmation. I've got confidence that this should continue to work, especially if the market is looking like that. Now, Kim, does that make sense? I know it's hindsight. Oh, don't get me wrong. That was the hindsight part of it wasn't, no. I wanted to show because Asif made a point. It's hard holding contras overnight. If I could show you some analysis behind holding these contras overnight, would it help you? That's what it's for. All right. Kim says, I can accept that explanation and how to decide to get out of the turn. So fine. Let's talk about that. All right. So now, Kim, hopefully you like the idea of the non-leveraged contras to look at this particular point in time. Boom. Let's talk about when to get out of them. So now, because I always talk about stuff, but I don't always talk about how to manage them. So Kim, I'm looking at the top 5 right now. These could be the top 5 to look at right now. How would you manage them? Great question. Let's view the stock graph. Put up a stock graph. Put this on a 1-month graph. All right. Would I buy TBF yet? All right. Would I buy TBF yet? Type a yes or a no in the room. Would I buy TBF yet? Yes or no? I like that it fits here. All right. I like that it fits here. Would I buy it yet? Yes or no? Come on, folks. Absolutely. Why? I'm looking for the 3 to be above the 8 before I buy. All right. Let's go to the next one. Ooh, TBX looked good. What's going on? Down day today. I would wait. So Kim, I'm looking at these, but Kim brought up a good point. How do you manage these? Would I get into REK? I like that one better. So far I've looked at 3 out of them. 1, I would possibly get into. I like the 3.8. I like coming off a level of support. I like the bottom left, top right. I'd like to see it break above that level of resistance, but I like that one now. Let's go to the next one. Hold on. Was this one sorted by CI? See, that's the hard part about sorting by CI. Look at the volume. Do you like the volume? And let's go to the next one. Woo! EUM. I like that one. And it's hitting a new 1-month high. So now, I talked to you about the non-leverage, and now I've talked to you about which ones you should take a look at. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to put this back on the average volume. And let's do the same analysis again. Let's go put this on the average volume. Sort by average volume. And let's do the same thing again because, like I said, I don't always talk to you about how to manage these trades. Right click. View the stock graph. Let's do the same thing. Put this on a 1-month graph. I like that one. 3.8 just crossed a few days ago. Nice open candle. I would take that one today. Next one. 3-8 just crossed today. That's a good early entry after a hammer formation, confirmation, bada boom, bada bing. I like that one. Very little wick at the top. Kim, does this make woo-wee? RWM. Again, now I'm looking at these sort of by average volume because they are traded. I like this better in regards to getting it. I don't mind the CI part of it. But man, I can't deny. Look at that movement. Very little wick at the top. TBF though, instead of blindly buying, looking at the graph, I'm not feeling that one as well. DOG, 4 out of the 5 I like. 4 out of the 5 I like. All right. Contra should be looked at no different than the long side in terms of technical analysis. Should be looked at no different to the. So what am I, Steve, RT40, am I looking at these different? I'm looking at a 1-month graph. I've got simple stuff on here. Moving averages, support resistance. How about RT going above 1? That's going to be important for a Contra. How much does the volume affect your buy decision? I'd like to make sure that I've got good volume. I'd want to make sure that I'm buying into a stock that's got rising volume. But I've got the VectorVest indicator here. RT tells me that the stock's in an uptrend. RT tells me that the stock's in a downtrend. Not feeling that one. RT tells me that it's right there, but it's rising RT. Stock's going up. RT is rising. Not above 1 yet. RT is sitting at 0.99. It's close. I'd like to see more volume, but I'm not going to fight the tape. The stock is moving up. PSQ, volume looks pretty darn good, pretty steady. RT below 1, but rising as well. 3-8 just crossed. All right. UVXY, I can do this on any Contra, but remember, I'm looking at non-leverage Contras right now. No, see the lows and trade them as the same as buying opportunity. So, Steve, when you said see the low, look at the stock graph again. See the low. I don't always do that on every stock. I'm looking at, is it giving? How about these are coming off a low, Steve? These are coming off of levels of support. Hammer formation. Boom. I like that. So I'm sort of looking at it. This is coming off a level of support. 3-8 just crossed. So I'm still not sure what you're saying, Steve, but I'm playing this, even though it's a Contra, I'm playing this as if I were looking at a regular stock, except for I know that it's a Contra. I'm playing it the same way. John says, I like Contra ETFs, and that's no lie. What about GLT? Remember, I'm not looking, I don't know how many year stocks I'm going to look at today. GLT, you wanted me to look at UVXY. Let's go Duke. The game's coming on. Oh, the Duke game is coming on. How about Carolina won last night? Sigh. I didn't think they should, but they did. I want to see what they're going to do against Virginia today. I want to see what they're going to do against Virginia. And not only that, we got to win our game today. The game's coming on now. I use the primary wave as my buy, as bottom. If you have reverse divergence, then all good. So there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you're going to use the primary wave, in this case, you're looking for the primary wave down. How about I can put that on here? I can't trade off the primary wave. I mean, I can't put a primary wave on an individual stock, but I can look at the primary wave down. I can look at this. This primary wave is up. Oh, it's probably going to go back down today. I can look to see when the primary wave goes down to see how these stocks do as well. Please talk about when to exit the Contras. So, what would I do to get out? The same way I like the 3-8 to get in, I'm going to use the 3-8 to get out. All right, when I see the 3-8 cross back down once I'm in it, that's the opportunity that I'm going to use to get out of it. Plain and simple. There's not a lot behind it. If I can use the 3-8 to get in, I can use the 3-8 like here. Let's go back in time. All right. How about the market was going down, this was going up? That was a great opportunity to get out. Does that make sense? Fitz? How about that? Taking that close to a top and getting out and saving your bacon. How about here? The 3-8 went up. Boom. I still would have made money getting out on the 3-8 as well. All right. So there you go. That's an easy way to get out because, again, as was asked, I always talk about these stocks, but I don't always tell you how to manage these stocks. Not only that, use the sell recommend. Not on the contract. You can use it. You can use the sell recommendation on the contract, but look, it takes a minute for that to happen. If I like the 3.8 to get in, I like the 3.8 to get out. Steve says, yes, primary wave down is the call to go short. Just think in the reverse. And am I not, Steve? So if the primary wave is the call to go down, then these contras are prime candidates for me to jump on board with. All right. SIVB. SIVB. All right. So if you're okay with the leverage contras, then I would go to the leverage contras right here. These could be either 2 or 3 time leverage and do the same thing. There's only 3 found. That doesn't make sense. That so doesn't make sense. Let's go to 3 time leverage contras. There we go. That didn't make sense. But here's 3 time leverage contras because it is a watch list. Let's sort by average volume. If you really want to be super aggressive, and you know what? These are moving today. Look at Yang. I personally own Yang. I own 2 or 3 contras. One of them is Yang and the other one is Hibbs. I think I have a third one. But that just goes to show what I'm doing today. I'm making money today, but I've already had these. I had these when soon after the DEW went down. All right, and Yang is doing great, up almost 11% today. Almost 11% today. Kim says, ANF 3 crossed below the 8 and was down, then moved up. Large debt clothing store. What makes the price move up in this down market move? That fools me every time. Why? Well, let's go take a look at it. It's got to be news driven. Or it's people, and then Glenn, the 3.8 cross. I got you, Kim. I got you. As a matter of fact, Kencario says, can you look at the fast retailing stock? It crashed today for no obvious reason. What stock can KO? What stock? You asked me to look at a stock, but what stock? Marty says, I sell when the 3 below the 8 primary wave up with confirmation. There you go. What stock can KO? You said a fast retailing stock. Is it the same stock that Kim is looking at, ANF? Let's do that. Let's go back to my viewers. Go back to, Trending Thursday, new format. And let's go to customer picks. Let's go to customer picks. I'm going to take a look at some of these stocks. I made money with PTGX. See, be careful with those stocks. They will go, GLT, UVXY, ANF, SIVB, ANF twice. Alta, we'll look at Alta, oh man, none of these stocks went in. Where did they all go? Where did all my typing go? Sigh. GLT, UVXY, ANF, SIVB, SH, ULTA, ASRT, going once, going twice as I drink my cafe du spell. Oh, you wanted to look at PTGX. All right, I'm giving away one more hoodie. My two people that won hoodies, they've got emails on how to get their hoodies. That was Marty and Gary. Gary, are you here? I see Marty is here. Gary, are you here? And today we're giving out one more hoodie. And in a minute, Joey is going to give out the keyword to type in for to win the hoodie today. All right, here's your stocks you wanted to look at. Gary is here. Hi, Gary. There's the word, Pisces. Remember, because I'm giving these out to you, the keyword is Pisces. If you spell it wrong, you ain't getting the hoodie. Read it how Joey spelled it. If you spell it wrong, you ain't getting the hoodie. All right. It's got to be Pisces. It's got to be Pisces. First thing I'm looking at, out of all of the stocks that you gave me, I'm looking at all the spellings. I'm trying to stop. There it is. Hector, you messed up already. Good Lord. Just look at what Joey put up there. Hector. Who else spelled it wrong? I'm looking. All right. ASRT is at the top of the list by VST, followed by Ulta Beauty. GLT is at the bottom of the list by VST, followed by UVXY. That's probably going to change. All right. You could be getting in on UVXY quickly. It could be starting to move up. Now, A&F, you said they beat earnings. What was the deal? What was the news on it? What was the news on A&F? Let's go check it out real quick. It's down today 1%. Press release. 8 days. I got no real news on it. That's 8 days ago. That's 5 days ago. I got no real news on it. So to answer your question, I don't know what moved the stock. All right, the stock. So let's analyze it. One, the stock is overvalued. Cigar. Did Mark really win? That was Cigar. Cigar, stop. Do I need to put you? Did he win? Hold on, I'm checking. Did he win? Cigar, stop messing around. Sigh. I'm about to say, did Mark really win? Hector says he wrote it in Spanish. Isn't that pescado? Listen, half my family is Puerto Rican. I know that's fish. Pescado is fish. Nobody's won yet. All right, so looking at A&F, stock is overvalued. Stock's got no upside potential. It's got no safety. The only thing, something news-wise was pushing it. That's why the stock's in an uptrend. Remember, I'm taking you guys through the process of looking at news and then analyzing the stock to make a better decision. What about this stock says it's okay to be long in it? Well, RT is above 1. If nothing else, this becomes a trade. If nothing else, this becomes a trade. I got no fundamentals, and it's overvalued. And it's a hold. So who was asking me about A&F? That was Kim. So Kim, utilizing the VectorVest system, I wouldn't have been in it. I don't care what the news said. I wouldn't have been in it. Unless I am more aggressive and I'm looking at that 1.15 on the RT, then I know it's a trade. So then fine. Let's say I think it's a trade. Put it on a 1 month graph. Am I buying? Heck no. No. So now you're just listening to whatever news came out on it, and you go. The graph tells me after the analysis, the graph says, heck no. You know what the graph tells me? The graph tells me this. No. That's not what I wanted. So I'm looking. So Kim, if you're saying the 3 and the 8 never crossed, the 3 and the 8 has been down on the stock since 221. There's no reason why I would be in the stock. Oh, the stock went up a couple of days. All right. But there's no reason why I would have been in this stock. Does that make sense, Kim? Hopefully that makes sense. There's nothing in here that tells me that I should have been in that stock. Nothing. All right, let's go look at Glatfelter. Stock's undervalued. Glenn, I have a put after buying it. It moved from 26 to 26.75. That wasn't, even that move wasn't justified just looking at the analysis. That was just some people who moved that stock higher. Still wasn't enough for me to go be in that stock long at all. So it went up, 75 cents? That went up 75. There's nothing by way of the analysis that I have that tells me I should have been in it. Fundamentally, that sound, RT, no, there's nothing I like about this one either. Let's go view the graph. That's at the bottom of the list. I don't like it either. A lot of give back today. All right, now keep in mind that everything that I'm looking at in regards to these stocks have nothing to do with what I think. I'm analyzing them. First things first, put your stocks that you're interested in to a list. Look to see where they fall because they automatically get sorted. You build a watch list anywhere else, in the world. Nobody sorts them like we do. We sort them to bring the best combination of value, safety, and timing to the top of the list. ASRT, undervalued, good upside potential. We're giving up a little bit of safety. That's more of an aggressive play. RT above one. Heck, I like this stock. Let's go see if it's worth it to get in. Let's go see if it's worth it to get in. Wow, the 3 and the 8's been solid for the full month. Great volume. When I get in today, I see a lot of give back right here, but that makes sense while the market's going down. Before I get in, I'm looking to be 5 cents higher than the high to pull the trigger to make sure it's doing what I want it to do. That's the kind of analysis that I like. All right? And let's go finish looking at the rest of these. View the stock graph. 1 month graph. Ulta Beauty, I like the move. Be careful right there. Anybody know what that candlestick pattern is called? I'll let you type it in the room. Robert Cody won the giveaway. Good, googly muggly. How about that? Robert Cody won the giveaway. He won the hoodie. Robert Cody won the hoodie. So Robert, you're going to have to send an email to connect@VectorVest.com. Send an email to connect@VectorVest.com. And we'll get you your hoodie. We'll get you your hoodie. All right? Congratulations, my friend. All right. Nobody put what the candlestick pattern was. That's a shooting star. Most likely letting me know that the next candle tomorrow should be a down candle. All right. Which normally means it should be a down candle today. Almost 200 watching, only 68 likes. Really? We only got 68 likes? Man, nobody's liking the analysis that's going on. Fernando says, okay, gonna stop watching now. No hoodie. Sigh. I can't give a hoodie to everybody. Technically, I could, but I won't. I can't even get 100 likes right now. What makes you think I'm going to give away a hoodie to everybody? I know, Fernando. I'm only messing. Cigar says, Mark Norton sigh. I know. Genius is often unrewarded. Mark is awesome. Mark is awesome. Why did Glenn win the hoodie again? What hoodie? What hoodie? What hoodie did I win? All right. So, Ulta, even though I like this, like the graph, I'm being careful that it could be a possible pullback in the stock. Wow, same thing with PTGX. This sounds like it was news driven. This is sort of kind of parabolic. Be careful with this. All right, a lot of give back right here. A lot of money made in the last couple of days. Something tells me that it's going to be primed for a pullback as well. Wow, FAZ. Look at that very little wick at the top. I like it. It takes effect of what's going on in the market right now. You have to type a special word to get a like from me. What's the special word? Oh, I know the special word. The special word is...
I love it!
That's the special word. All right, now you got to get... Now, does the earnings symbol have any significance on the chart if it's above or below the trend line? No, earnings just shows me when the earnings hit. It doesn't have... To answer your question, it just shows me why is my earnings not showing up. That's interesting. 1 year... That's weird. Why is the earnings not showing up? The earnings just shows me the date that we got earnings. Got nothing to do with the trend lines. CEO Butler. I think the word contra is messing with people's heads. So I'm not... SRTY, there is an MPI cross. Look at SOX S. Primary wave down. If SOX S breaks the level bottom, then you have low risk entry. If rates go up, then... I still ain't getting it. SOX is a contra that I would take a look at. SRTY is a contra that I would take a look at. I don't know where we are disconnecting, Steve, and I apologize for that. I have no idea. I'm telling you that those are that this is the time for entries into those. So I'm still not sure where I'm getting disconnected. All right. So real quick, we'll finish looking at your stocks. FAZ, I like. 5, I don't like. Whole bunch of selling pressure right now. SH, there's another contra. Notice that the contras are rocking. Right? The contras are giving you opportunities. KHC, woof. Was that an earnings play? There's the earnings. No, it's not earnings play now, but I'm not feeling that. SQQ, another ETF. Look at that. giving an opportunity to get in. Duke leading 16-4. Way to go, Lockie. Whoop. Joey loves that too, even though he's a Carolina fan. So here we go. Because of that, this is still who's on first. Look at that. Duke's leading 16-4. They're coming out hot. All right, SIVB. Yes, I agree with you. The contras are on the right to trade. There we go. All right. So again, if we're disconnected somewhere, I apologize for that. There's a big down. I'm not feeling that. Abercrombie, I'm not feeling that. UVXY is getting ready. The 3 and 8's about to cross. Big up day. No wick at the top. Big volume. It's getting close. And the last stock is GLT going down. All right, with that, I'm done. Again, today was a little different than what I had planned out for you. But I think the analysis of what was going on in the market, the analysis of looking different ways of looking for contra ETFs, the analysis of the stocks that you gave me to look at today, hopefully a lot of that made sense. Steve and I'm not sure where we're disagreeing, and I hope we're not. Who is my other young lady person? Gosh darn it, I forget. Kim, were the questions, did I answer your questions in a proper manner today? I liked your questions. Did I help you out today in any way, shape, form, or fashion? All right. We're almost at 100 likes, and that's fine. We never got to 300 people. I don't know why we can't get to 300 people. I just don't understand it. I think that what we bring to the table really should warrant way more than 300 people. Again, one is a shipper. One is a shipping company. One is a shipper, and somebody answered. Who was that? Somebody answered the question for me on TK and TNK. There is a difference. I forget. Joey, do you remember what was said about the difference between TK and TNK? I wrote it down somewhere too. I got a lot of notes on my desk. One was a shipper and one was something else. No. One was shipping and one was a tanker. Is that what it was? One is a container and one is a tanker. That tanker shipper. There we go. Thank you. I know somebody answered the question. Tankers and shippers. Somebody answered the question, and I knew I was supposed to write it down, but I got so much stuff going on. All right, so there we go. Did we get to 100? We didn't. That's right. I'm going to leave anyway. Debbie said, just got here. Sorry. Can you replay this? Yes, I'm going to start from the beginning. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins. Welcome. And no, sorry. As much as I love you all, Debbie, I'm not going to start this all over again. But there will be a replay. All right, I got to go. Oh, starting to let you all, after next week, I'm here all of next week. But after that, I'm gone for a week. I'm going on a cruise with my wife. My wife and I are going on a cruise for a week. So I'm just starting to get you guys prepped for it now. I'm here next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, we'll have the live stream. We'll have the videos. The following week, there'll only be one live stream. It'll be a special live stream done by Steve Chappell. That will be that following Thursday. But the other 2 days will not be live streams, but they still will be 6 p.m. videos. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time. I'm here all of next week, but after that, I'm gone for a week. All right, so there's the link for the replay, Debbie. All right, and congratulations to Robert for winning the third hoodie. We gave away 3 VectorVest hoodies this week, and because it's my birthday week, so I wanted to help you out. I want to do that for you. All right, I'm done. Did you get the cheap cruise through the sewer? Nope. We're going on Norwegian. My wife got us a deck thingy for outside, so we can look outside and while we're riding the boat. I told my wife the biggest thing that I want to do is I want to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to go down and get a bacon double cheeseburger and go back to sleep. That's what I want. That's the biggest thing that I want to do, is I want to go wake up at 3:30 in the morning to have a bacon double cheeseburger and then go back to sleep. All right. So when I come back, I'll tell you. All right. Love. exciting and new. All aboard. We're expecting you. The Love Boat. Soon we'll be making another. All right, I'll sing that again before I go. Folks, this video is over. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bon dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya.